Hello and welcome to our Sunday evening's edition of Arirang News. I'm Daniel Che here to provide you with the latest. A committee of residents opposing the planned deployment of the THAAD missile defense system in Seongju County is set to forward its suggestions of alternate location for the installation to the nation's defense ministry. The group held a meeting on the matter at 3 p.m. Sunday to choose a location and reached a conclusion around 2 hours later. After voting on 3 possible candidate sites, one of them, not yet officially revealed, garnered 23 out of 33 votes. The Defense Ministry will give its official response on Monday after receiving the suggestion from Seongju County Mayor Kim Hang-gun. According to Yanap News, the location agreed by the group is likely to be Lotte Sky Hill Country Club, which is far from populated areas, some 18 kilometers north of the Seongju County office. The North Korean diplomat in London who fled to South Korea last week reportedly met with British intelligence agents 2 months before his defection. For the updates on how and why Tae Yong-ho chose to abandon the regime he believed in and stood up for, we turn to our Kim Hyun-bin.
British tabloid The Sunday Express reported over the weekend that North Korea's deputy ambassador to the UK, Tae Yong-ho, met with British secret agents at a golf course 2 months ago and expressed anxiety over the possibility of being recalled to Pyongyang. Citing intelligence sources, the paper adds that Tae began to seriously discuss defecting after his wife expressed the same sentiments. The sources said Tae was given a choice of virtually any country in which to seek asylum, but he insisted on settling in South Korea. Last month, Tae, his wife and 2 sons were taken on a British military aircraft, escorted by 2 fighter jets to a U.S. Air Force base in Germany, before being transferred to another plane bound for Seoul. On Saturday, North Korea broke its official silence over the defection, calling Tae a criminal and condemning Seoul for spreading what it called false rumors about the North. Pyongyang also lambasted Britain for not handing over the supposed criminal to the regime, despite a strong protest. According to South Korean government sources, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has reportedly dispatched agents and made alliances with organized gangs in China to launch terror attacks against South Korean citizens in retaliation for the recent defection. Seoul has issued safety alerts to those living in China and those traveling near the country's border with the North. In April, a South Korean missionary was killed in China's Jilin province near the border in what is believed to have been an assassination by North Korean secret agents. Kim Hyun-bin, Arirang News.
South Korea's Ministry of Public Safety and Security announced on Sunday the country will hold its annual combined military drill with the U.S. this week from Monday through Thursday. The 49th Ulchi Freedom Guardian or UFG exercise comes amid increasing threats from Pyongyang. According to the ministry, this year's UFG will focus on dealing with frequent GPS jamming attacks and cyber terrorism conducted by the North. The troops will also practice mobilization for key technical personnel and protecting key facilities like nuclear power plants and airports. Some 4,000 state agencies and nearly 500,000 South Koreans are scheduled to take part in the drill.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Kwon Jang-ho, here to give you the latest from this final weekend of the 2016 Olympics. Hall of Famer Park Inbee has won the first gold medal for women's golf in 116 years. Marking the sport's return to the Olympic lineup, Park won it in emphatic fashion with a final score of 16 under, 5 shots ahead of her closest rival, Lydia Ko of New Zealand. She put on an unwaveringly strong performance throughout the 4 days of the competition, even when strong winds troubled some of the others. It was also a vindication of her decision to attend the Games in the first place. The 7-time major winner had been battling a thumb injury all season, and some had wondered whether she should give up her spot to someone else. But she's now silenced her doubters and written her name in the history books as the first winner of the event in the modern era. There was another medal in the Taekwondo for Team Korea. Former gold medalist Cha Dong-min won bronze in the men's 80-kilo event, overcoming world number 1 Dmitry Shokin of Uzbekistan in the final repechage bout. The two were actually tied at 3 points apiece after the regulation 3 rounds and had to go into golden point overtime. But within 11 seconds, Cha won it with a quick 1-2 kick combination. It brings to an end a successful Olympics for the Korean Taekwondo team, with all 5 competitors winning medals, including 2 golds. In the final day of athletics at the Olympic Stadium, Great Britain's Mo Farah established himself as the greatest long-distance runner of his generation after winning gold in the 5,000 metres. That completed a double-double of golds, that's gold in the 5 and 10,000 metre races in 2 consecutive Olympics. He's only the second runner to have achieved this feat after Finland's Lassi Vareni 40 years ago. And finally, the Maracanã Stadium was filled with Brazilian tears of joy as the host nation's football team won its first ever Olympic gold, finally completing the nation's set of world titles in the sport. It was settled in a dramatic penalty shootout after the match had finished 1-1. Brazil's goalkeeper Weverton saved Germany's 5th penalty, and then Neymar, Brazil's marquee player, stepped up to score the decisive goal. It was redemption against a nation that had humiliated them in a 7-1 loss at the 2014 World Cup, also held in Brazil. It was the perfect high for the host nation to end these sometimes troubled but often compelling Olympic Games before the curtain comes down with the closing ceremony on Sunday night.
The continuing heat wave in Korea has raised the temperatures in rivers, encouraging the growth of algae and potentially contaminating a main source of drinking water. The nation's 4 major rivers are under an emergency alert, while fishermen on the coast can do little but watch as warmer sea waters kill off their stock. Lee Min-young has this report.
The rivers are turning green due to blooms of algae caused by rising water temperatures amid the heat wave. Early this month, algae warnings were issued for 3 of the country's major waterways, the Nakdonggang, Keumgang, and Yeongsangang rivers, which Koreans rely on as a main source of drinking water. Local environmental authorities have taken emergency measures to ensure the safety of tap water. Algae not only causes tap water to smell and taste different, but can also release poisonous substances such as microcystin, which can cause liver problems. Water purification plants in the Nakdonggang River Basin have added equipment to filter out the blue-green algae and installed an extra layer of filtering to block finer impurities. It's not only drinking water. The warmer seas around the Korean peninsula are endangering business at major fisheries. The sea temperatures have risen to their highest in 26 years, killing millions of fish.
I can't express in words how devastated I am. The whole world is crashing down around me. The fish I had raised for so long are all dying.
This summer, the sea temperature has risen as high as 27 to 31 degrees, which is 5 degrees higher than normal. The reported losses are mounting. Nearly 2 million fish and shellfish, worth some 3 billion won or around $2.7 million, the worst damage in 3 years. On the ground, the heat hasn't spared farmers' livestock either. Nearly 4 million farm animals have died in the heat, the worst loss in 5 years. With the hot weather expected to continue, those figures are expected to rise. Lee Min-young, Arirang News.
Korea's main stock index, the Kospi, ended Friday at a high note for the year at a little over 2,056, thanks in no small parts to shares of Samsung Electronics, showing just how much sway the tech titan has in the local market. According to analysis by FN Guide, shares of Korea's top 10 listed private firms rose by more than $26 billion, and close to 2/3 of that was driven by the wider Samsung Group. Among the top 10, only Lotte and POSCO recorded losses, and those were mostly due to internal scandal and restructuring. A closer look shows Samsung Electronics' gains for the month easily outstrip the combined gains of Celltrion and Kakao, the 2 top companies in terms of aggregate value of listed stock. Analysts see a bright second half for Samsung as well, driven by the success of the Galaxy Note 7, 3D NAND, and flexible OLED displays. New data suggests economic uncertainty is causing Koreans to tighten their purse strings. According to data from the OECD, Korea's household savings rate has more than doubled in the past 4 years. The net household savings rate for this year has risen to nearly 8.7%, ranking Korea 5th in the OECD behind Switzerland, Sweden, Luxembourg, and Germany. In 2012, the same figure was below 4%. Experts see savings as a way for households to secure financial stability and to invest, but some worry it takes away from already weak domestic demand, posing a risk to the economy in the longer term. Turning to the U.S. election campaign, Republican candidate Donald Trump last week joined his Democratic rival Hillary Clinton in the ad wars, airing his first national TV spot. As expected, the two sides' ads couldn't be more different. Trump's first ad paints a rather grim picture of life under a new Clinton presidency. America overrun by people looking to cheat the system and threaten its security. Hillary Clinton's TV spots focus on making her more appealing to voters and portraying America as a melting pot. The former reality show star has a lot of catching up to do in this battlefield, as the Clinton campaign is spending $12.9 million in 3 different states, dwarfing his $4.8 million in ad buys in the same states. The Republican nominee has yet to purchase airtime beyond August, while his rival's campaign has reserved spots into early September. Some analysts say the real estate mogul is making a big mistake by holding back on TV ad spending, though others argue there's little evidence of paid TV spots making a big difference in presidential elections in the past. A suicide bomber has killed at least 30 people and injured more than 90 others at an outdoor wedding party in southeastern Turkey. According to AFP, the suicide bomber targeted the area for its large Kurdish community. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the attack was likely the work of Islamic State. Gaziantep, near the Syrian border, is known to have several ISIS cells. The city was already on edge before the attack because of events in Syria, where ISIS has been battling Syrian Kurdish forces. Turkey has been hit by a series of bombings by the militant group in the past year, the latest in June at the Istanbul airport, which killed more than 40 people. Things are looking up for those who fear or dread the heat in Korea. We do have 4 seasons in this country, and we are nearing the end of the summer, so hang in there. Seoul, Cheongju, and Jeju starts the day at 26. The mercury rises all the way to 34 in the capital, 35 in Cheongju, and 31 in the southernmost island. And now let's check out the weather conditions in other parts of our world. That's all from us for now. More updates coming your way at 10 p.m. Korea time. Thanks for watching.